I offer online lessons. In case you're interested, I'll provide you with the link in the description. This video is a cutout from one of them. The person was interested into generative, ambient, Hiroshi Yoshimura type of stuff, to be a bit more precise. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I made this like generative thing where when you input like single notes, you get chords, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of set up so whenever I play it, so if I play it here, right, I'm playing single notes. And oh yeah, first of all, please don't hesitate to just interrupt me and ask questions.
Okay.
So
Um,
yeah,
mhm. Yeah, so far I'm just listening.
okay.
Well, I like I like already like the feeling it gives me,
Hmm.
like sense of wonder and science fiction and adventure, but it's also peaceful, so it's not like all over the place. So it's something that I want to be able to have something that allows you to keep in focus with what we are doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like this.
Okay. Okay. So I have this. I'll disable the ones and I'll go step by step. So what I was like going through, and as you mentioned, like with the whole like Hiroshi Yoshimura and like it being for a puzzle game, it needed to be something that's there, but it's not too stimulating, but it's like again stimulating the brain to work, I guess. So
Mhm.
the first thing that I went is like I went through a couple of like literally patches that sounded Hiroshi Yoshimura like to me, and so what I wanted and what I want is single notes for me to trigger chords that I could actually like diverge into like other channels that react to this single note. Is that okay?
Mhm.
And so if I were to like pretty convenient way is to like show you actually what's happening. So I have this single chord, but whenever I trigger it, it's triggering like more MIDI information. And so if I were to show you from this, and this, I tried to show it visually. And so it should trigger. One moment. I need this to write. Actually, I need this post effects. Right. Right. So I'm getting these like complex chordal information out of just one note.
Mhm.
The way I'm going about that is okay. So here I'm using a device in Ableton titled Random, and as you can see, I literally went with like the default presets that they have here, and I mean it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of like functionality and what notes it's able to like to input generate as soon as you trigger a note. I'm monitoring. I'm like using this MIDI monitor just like to get a sense that as soon as I trigger something, sorry, right, just to get a sense. The only thing that's like super important as you work this way, because it is super random, is that you send it all through just like a scale, so it makes it
Mhm.
all melodic, right? So it doesn't differ from the scale. Uh,
Mhm.
the only thing is here is I didn't go for like a regular major or minor scale, but I went with the pentatonic one because harmonically this is like too rich, and I got some like very like close colliding like one semitone notes going in that sounded just like bad, right? So I opted out for going for a major like a pentatonic one because it removed that. Next, literally the basic pluck harp is like a preset pluck. It's like I literally went with presets that sounded like clean. Sorry. Right. So it's the same. So I didn't alter the sound too much, aside from like maybe playing around with the macros as I was like mixing it out with the other stuff. Aside from that, in terms of like processing, I didn't do much with this. The only thing that I did additionally with like the MIDI is you can see I have this group here after like the big chords, right? In the group I have like a dry one that's playing the regular stuff, so like the big chord. But here I have like an arpeggiator that's going like a fifth, perfect fifth up, like 7 semitones. And I'm again, it's like I want an additional note to play that's playing from like the range of the notes that it's triggered from the chords. Is that okay? Okay.
So
Yep.
this is for the random generation of notes
Yes.
that play in the background.
Yes.
But this also is changing how they sound, or is just for orchestrating.
How do you mean? Like
Like the effect of the note, it also gets tuned here, or
for this one, or at least for like this first patch, it's only changing pitch. So I'm not. I am using like an LFO here, and I'll quickly like I try to do this this thing with this LFO here in terms of like to change the timbre and to change the notes here, but it's not this one. It's not doing anything. But in terms of like timbre or like the way it sounds, it's just triggering notes. Like so. Here I have like a bit of delay, but it's triggering at the, like the 1/3 part, and you can see that the tempo is very slow.
yes.
But like if I were to use this here and then, or actually I macroed it out the rate. Sorry, so
Nice.
whatever, and when it plays the next one, it basically like goes through the chords in terms of like notes and kind of gives it like this little quantized solo. But I want to just like little input that's not only the chord, and that's that's for now that's it. What's really cool is that like you can literally, for example, you can use that MIDI. So if I were to, for example, create a new MIDI channel here and control, like I'll take the input from this one, and then let me just name it ARP solo, basic pluck harp. And so I'll choose, you can see ARP solo here. And if I were to take it here and maybe use like a guitar and like whatever, and set it to in, and then if I were to
Cool.
right, it's so quick to add in like new instrumentation and like fade in. You can literally take 10 of these and just like render out stuff, and it will always be random, and then you can crossfade between them. Even in game wise is really good for that. And yes, and so that was like I guess like the thought process between or for this. Yeah, for mixing or whatever, just like I don't think I think I put actually a bit of reverb here. All right, it's very dry now. Just to put it a bit back in the mix, and I added in a bit of gain. Okay, so for the next one, so you can see here that I have two instruments. So I did the same thing with this, like as with this guitar thing. And so I have it selected, and I'm using it to send in MIDI information to the next one. Right. So for the Hiroshi Yoshimura tutorial, the thing is, it's like I found a guy who literally took a song from Wetlands and he deconstructed like the song on two keyboards. And what he said is like when he plays, like when Hiroshi plays the synth, what's giving like the, I guess like the tonal quality or like the song, the way it sounds, it's like whenever he plays something, it plays like an additional perfect fifth with it. And so that's what I did here. But the thing is, it's like it's not fully in key, you know, the like the additional perfect fifth. Because if like, actually, sorry, this one is because I enabled, so you can see this button here. So it's like setting it into like the current scale. So it's like setting, so it's making sure that it's major pentatonic 7, sorry. And yeah, so this is like an additional layer. I don't think I'm using the LFO here. Yeah, I'm not even using this. Right? This kind of just gives it a bit more presence in the mid-range, but it's, yeah, it like, it just sounds like an accompaniment to this cleaner sound. And okay, and so for the last layer as well, I went with like, I went through presets, and I found this one. So this sounded like this, like right, big bell sound, whatever. And additionally, what I did, so I have this one just to make sure that what I'm getting here is in key, but whatever, it's just, I guess it's not relevant at this moment. What I did was I used the chord plugin. So so when you load this up, so whenever like a key hits, or at least like when you input a key, here this like just makes it a chord, right? But the difference here is I'm using this, it's set, so it's like set in key when you enable this button, but I'm making sure with this here, but whatever. Okay, but
it goes back.
Sorry?
Like you have the major pentatonic before the chord, and the chord shifts, but then you put it back again in the pentatonic.
Yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, and here, and here I shifted it 2 octaves up for whatever reason.
Okay.
What's this doing is like you have this like strum thing. It's like, you know, when strumming like a guitar, it kind of like offsets the starting position of the like the notes when they play, and I played around with these, you know, just by taste through these parameters here. But basically just like getting variation, and it's not so like set off, as these are very quantized, you know, there. Whereas I wanted this to just like be a bit more, you know, played later on in accordance to the previous ones. And the only thing that's like different to these ones, as these are like basically MIDI instruments that that are playing their thing without any effects is that I'm using an effect here. So without it, which is in
Yeah.
itself absolutely cool and doable and usable for sure. Like you can set a delay or whatever. But what I like to use sometimes with this hybrid reverb plugin, these are all Ableton. When you change so mid sound, when you change like this like a vintage mode, this basically emulates like old reverb devices and introduces like artifacts, noise, redux effects, whatever. But when you change them like mid sound, you can hear that it goes like quickly through an octave. It kind of gives it like this little click, and I'll show it. So I mapped it out here, and I mapped it out with like an LFO, and I set it to random and to like half note. So you'll hear it quickly. Okay, so it's not doing it. It has to go. Right. Right. So that's the only thing that's not being like MIDI triggered and changed. Again, this top end is here. It's a bit harsh, so I'd probably need to mix it more and make it whatever. But yeah, with this you can literally generate out like an entire song just by repeating this process, right? By adding or removing instruments, by adding in like effects. Or like shimmer.
My idea was like I like these drone effects, and I would like them to have to be in the background.
Yeah.
But the idea is that the notes like playing in the major pentatonic that happened kind of randomly, those will be kind of unpredictable because they will be triggered by something that is not going with the tempo. So do you think that can work, or it has to be always in tune?
Well, if it is like if the sound effect is like in tune, it can always work, right? I mean, if you were to maybe